And now for part 2 of week 6. First we'll be making some mistletoe, so you will need your colors 1 and 3 and an E-size hook. Start by doing a chain 10. After you have your chain 10, we're going to create a leaf. You're going to do another chain 10, and then you are going to triple crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. Continue with a triple crochet in the next chain, and then you will do a half double in the next 2 chains. Single crochet in the next chain, and finally slip stitch. And this is what the leaf pattern will look like in the written pattern. After the leaf, go ahead and chain 7, and then we're going to start a branch pattern. And the branch pattern goes as follows: chain 7, and then you're going to do a leaf. After the leaf, you'll chain 7 again, and then you're going to do 3 leaves in a row. So after you finish that first leaf, go ahead and go straight into doing a chain 10. Then you'll triple crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. You'll do a triple crochet in the next chain, 1 half double in each of the next 2 chain, single crochet, and slip stitch. Then go straight into doing the 3rd leaf. Once you have all 3 leaves complete, go ahead and slip stitch in the 1st leaf, and then you'll go ahead and slip stitch in the next 5 chains. After that, you will leaf again. It will look something like this. Once you finish that 1 leaf, go ahead and slip stitch 9. Skip the end of the leaf that doesn't count as a chain to get your 9. And that completes the branch pattern. So in the written pattern, it will look something like this. Chain 12, and then you will branch again. After the branch, slip stitch 7 more for a total of 14 slip stitches, and then you will branch again. Once that branch is complete, go ahead and slip stitch up 10 chains. Then you'll chain 2, and you're going to do 2 leaves in a row. Leaf 1, and right off of it, do a 2nd leaf, slip stitch back in those 2 chains, and then from there go ahead and slip stitch up to the beginning chain and fasten off. Next we'll add some berries to the mistletoe, and you'll need your B-size hook and color 2. Fold your yarn in half and pull the loop through a couple stitches above any leaf area, and then yarn over with both strands and chain 3. Continue with both strands and do a popcorn stitch, which is 4 double crochets, and continue to use that 2nd strand until you run out, and then just pull it through. Once you have the 4 double crochets though, go ahead and pull up a loop, remove your hook, reinsert your hook, pull through your loop, finish the berry by a chain 1 and slip stitch in that beginning chain. To add a 2nd one, go ahead and chain 5, and then you're going to popcorn in the 3rd chain from the hook. Chain 1 and slip stitch in the same chain as the popcorn stitch, and then go ahead and fasten off. Leave a length of yarn so that you can grab your yarn needle, and then you're going to weave it through the berries to weave in that end. If you can get through a berry 3 times, going through and then skipping one strand of yarn. Make sure not to pull it too tight though. You don't want them all smushed up in there. Once you get through 3 times, go ahead and trim your tails. The tail from fastening off is knotted and then weaved in, and then the other tail you had put into some stitches when you first began, so trimming him right up next to the berry will be just fine. Next I'll show you how to do just one berry. You'll attach the same way by pulling through a folded over loop. Go ahead and chain 3 and do a popcorn stitch again. Chain 1 and then slip stitch in that beginning chain where you did the popcorn stitch, and then go ahead and fasten off. Weave in the tail in the same manner as I showed before, and then trim off the excess. And randomly place 1 or 2 berries along your mistletoe. Next we're going to be doing a winter branch. It's similar to the branch you did in week 1. Start by doing a chain of 20, and then you're going to do what I'm calling a leaf right. You'll chain 2, and then you'll do a picot. After the picot, go ahead and chain 5, and then do another picot. Next, chain 4, then you're going to slip stitch in that first chain from that chain 5. Skip that picot and do 1 single crochet in the next 2 chains. From there, chain 7 and do a leaf right again. After the leaf right, chain 7 again, and then we're going to do a bud. A bud starts right off with a picot, and then you'll do a chain 5. Triple crochet in the 5th chain from the hook. Continue with a picot. Triple crochet in the same space you did the previous triple crochet. Chain 4 and slip stitch again in that same chain space. Picot, and then you're ready to continue. Working back up the branch, single crochet in the next 7 chain spaces. And then next you'll be doing a leaf left. Do a chain 2, and then you're going to do a chain 4. Continue with a picot, a chain 5, a slip stitch in that first chain from the chain 4, picot, and then you're going to single crochet in those 2 chain spaces. Skipping the leaf because it is not a chain space, go ahead and single crochet in the next 7 chains, and this is what your project should look like at this point. Do another leaf left, single crochet in the next 20 chain. Branch 1 is complete, and now we'll start branch 2. Begin with a chain of 35. Then you will do a leaf right, chain 7, leaf right, chain 7 and do a bud, single crochet up 7 and do a leaf left, single crochet up 7 and another leaf left, and single crochet up the 35. Branch 3 is done the same as branch 1. When you've finished all 3 branches, do a single crochet 3 together in all of the branch ends and fasten off. Now that you have all your pieces for week 6, we're going to go ahead and assemble them. The first flower is done the same as week 1. For the large petals, go ahead and put your hook through towards the bottom stitches next to the vein and pull the previous grouping through those. Kind of space them out so they kind of go out evenly. Go up through the 6 petal flower and pull the previous grouping through the middle. Do the same with the leaf on the foundation. This is what it should look like. Lift up the flower petals and through the leaves pull through the winter branch and the mistletoe. Turn the flower over and tie a square knot with the tails. Pick out one long tail that you're going to use for tacking the petals down and thread it into a yarn needle. Go up through the layers and come out underneath the 5-petal flower but up through the large petal and skip one space and go back through. Weave through the back of the flower and come up through the next large petal. Again, going back through, weaving in the back, and come up through that final 3rd petal and tack them down. This time when you go to the back, go ahead and knot it off. Next week we might just have to get connected.